Hi, I'm Dr. Larry. I'm here to tell you a little bit today about how I got involved in all this holistic nutrition and healthcare. And it really started back when I was probably about 14 years old. I had an avid interest in bodybuilding, and I was lifting weights and going to a gym. I had weights in my, back home we had a basement cellar, so I had weights there and gym equipment, and so I started bodybuilding. Along with that, at that time I was eating, pretty heavy. I was drinking a lot of milk at that time, even though now we know dairy is not that good for you. I was taking vitamins. As time progressed, I got involved in buying a yogurt machine, and I was actually at age 14 making my own organic yogurt, with the cultures and cooking it. And then it progressed to where I started sprouting mung beans and alfalfa sprouts in these mason jars with cheesecloth, and started eating the mung beans and salad. And it was just something that kept progressing, and it was something very heartfelt. As the time went on, I had a magazine collection of over 500 muscle and bodybuilding magazines. And in those magazines, there were tips on bodybuilding, on health tips. There were tips on nutrition. There were tips on vitamins and enzymes. Maybe not as progressive as today, but this was the foundation of nutrition, was from those bodybuilding magazines. And it spoke about different concepts in nutrition and in foods and in food combining, certain vitamins to take. So again, my education began to grow and grow and grow. Then I was like 15, 16, 17, and I kept doing, I was very involved in sports. And then what happened is I graduated high school, and I went to college. And while I was in college, I was playing some sports, and one day I had a pain in my groin, and I thought I had a hernia. And my next door neighbor, who went to a chiropractor in the local neighborhood, said, "Why don't you come let the doctor take a look at you?" And I did, and I was in a lot of pain, and the guy put me on the table and treated me, and in one visit, my pain in my groin was gone. So I was really shocked at the results that he got. Again, that then promoted my interest into chiropractic medicine. So what happened is I went to college and finished, and had a pre-med background, and I was thinking of becoming a dentist, but then I said, I don't really want to have my hands in people's mouths all day long. And then I started to look towards the chiropractic. I went to visit the school, and I was very impressed in what I saw. So I pursued a field in chiropractic medicine. Then later on, into nutrition, naturopathy. I had degrees, and this progressed for over between 35 and 40 years. I was working with this. And the biggest thing about this is that, in nutrition, it's very objective. The thing about having a nutritional test, or about having nutritional supplements, people right now are out there on the internet, they're searching, for different remedies. They're reading on the internet, they should take this pill for this and this potion for the motion. And what it all really entails is that it's not that easy. Just because what you read on the internet works for one doesn't mean it works for the other. We all have very unique body chemistries, and we each have our own genetic and hereditary factors, our own stress factors. And it takes somebody very special who's an expert to really break down your body and examine the functional biochemistry. And this is where it all started for me. So out through the practice, as years went on, I started doing a lot of lab work, blood work, and then I involved urine saliva testing, which I found was very efficient, and really looking at how people digest, how do they absorb, how the cells oxidize, how the carbohydrates are metabolizing. So it shows me if there's how the sugar metabolism is. So I progressed with this urine saliva test over many years. It's called the Bionutritional Eval. And why you should do nutritional testing is because you can't be subjective. You have to be objective. You need some type of testing to determine where your problems are lying. And it has to be very specific for you. Everybody's trying to treat a specific condition or balance the hormones, and really you need to know what the major factors are in the body that are imbalanced to balance those hormones, or to balance that body chemistry. And it takes experience. We have done, a friend of mine who really is much older than me had started this testing many years ago. He did over 30,000 patients in over 40 years, and he had phenomenal results. Nutrition, again, I said, is very specific. There are people out there doing too much alkaline. There are people there with too much acid. Everybody's on an alkaline plate. If you're too alkaline, you can produce disease just as if you're too acidic. The foods you eat are very different for everybody. Some people are on low carb diets, some people are on high protein diets, some people are on low fat diets, and everybody's out there trying to do the best they can. Of course, we instill about cardiovascular exercise is very important. But again, in the nutrition itself, it is very scientific. And also, what's very interesting that I have seen over many years is what you give to one, you don't give to the other. And what I mean by that is, if somebody has an adrenal insufficiency where the adrenal glands are not, kicking out their hormones at 100%, someone for the adrenals may need pantothenic acid, but somebody else may need vitamin C and so on. So just because you have a low adrenal doesn't mean you take an adrenal product. It really depends upon the body chemistry and what the other factors are that relate to it. So in the nutritional testing, I believe it's very imperative, just like when you go to the dentist, they tell you to get dental cleanings every 6 months, to prevent tooth decay and to prevent problems. The nutritional evaluations are the same. It's very important to have them 2-3 times a year because your body changes, your chemistry changes, your stress habits change, your diet changes, and so you need to keep up with what's changing in your system if you want to stay on top of things and try to become optimal healthy. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you again, and I hope that I've answered a lot of questions out there. Thank you and have a great day.